Now we've got like potentially a relationship that shouldn't be going on. We've got these two boys who we know have feelings for each other feuding and in like a I can fuck other people off. Now we're cooking. Let's get to Heated Rivalry, episode 4, Rose. This is an episode in which the tables are turned for our boys. Ilya's comfort with the arrangement and Shane's discomfort are at an all-time high, and a fateful exchanging of names leads Shane to a night and a decision that further complicates everything for our boys. Let's get into it. This episode ranges from 2014 to 2016, which I think might be like minimal.
I was going to say
jumps.
succinct, an awfully succinct.
Yeah, they're usually going like 33 years per episode. During these 2 years, the Metros win not once, but twice. They win the cup twice. And as I was writing in my notes, Metros on Dynasty Watch, ? I believe it was Man in the Crease.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, who says, are the Metros on Dynasty Watch? Not bad. Are the Metros on Dynasty Watch? They won 2 years in a row.
Is Man on the Crease on Comeback Arc Watch?
No,
okay.
because we don't even know if that was definitely them. I will say Metros are on like Dynasty Watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2 is not enough, but it's enough to put you on.
We're looking out for whether you might be on
You've
Dynasty
opened
Watch.
like the 2-year window, 2 to 3 year window to get one more.
Yeah, right.
There's also, during this, there's a montage to Feist's My Moon, My Man.
Mm-hmm.
This was an enormous music episode, as we will discuss later. Like the 2 big things with this episode, the 3, actually 4. Low lighting, tables being turned, straight people not doing great in the conversation, and good music.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with the tables being turned thing, but it's still Shane being uncomfortable with where things are.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but our sweet boy,
He's the one
that
pushing.
boy was born to not be comfortable.
Yeah, and he's the one now pushing it away.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right,
That's
yeah,
the
I get it.
Turning of the tables. This is not Hayden's strongest episode because I'm starting to not like the way that he talks, and he's on Sex Addict Watch, having a 4th baby.
Yeah, I mean, Shane put him on Sex Addict Watch. He was like, "You're doing this again," which is not an ideal teammate and captain way to respond to your pal announcing another
I think
baby.
that's how Antonio Gates was reacting to Phillip Rivers back.
But
in the day.
4 is not 12. Phillip Rivers is fielding a football team.
I feel like once you hit 4, you are having a lot of kids.
Yes.
Like 3 is like, and my mom had 3 kids, so I guess maybe a little biased. But like once you have the 4th, it's like okay, now you have
4th is not outrageous.
It's not outrageous, but it's a lot. It's a
4
lot
is
of kids.
4 is I don't know would you say big family? Yeah, 4 is a big. I'm one of 4 kids. There's 6 members of our family, plus occasionally there's dogs in the mix.
Yeah.
That's a big family.
That's a pretty big family. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big family.
But to your point about
I wouldn't put him on Sex Addict Watch.
Well, but to your point about the sex addict thing, or I
4
guess
is
not
too
your
many
point,
times to have sex.
He proceeded to be like, I am going to masturbate so much in this hotel
Oh,
room.
that's a good point. Yeah, okay, I'm putting him back on Sex Addict Watch because he was saying he was going to jerk off multiple
He was
times
like,
in the hotel room.
and he's like, that's my tradition. Every time I'm in a hotel room, I'm jerking it because that's what I love to do in hotel rooms.
Here's a thing that I would like.
And he was like doing the hit that chat.
Yes, so he said hit that. As for the hotel room thing, there's a weird thing where like people masturbate in hotel rooms. We know that.
People masturbate everywhere.
People masturbate everywhere, yet they feel the need to talk about the fact that people masturbate in hotel rooms. Like, got a hotel room to yourself? Oh, I know what this one will be doing. Like, and Hayden's just volunteering it. Hayden, I DM'd Jacob Tierney saying I liked you. I put my fucking reputation on the line, and this is how you repay me with hotel room masturbation watch?
I think that a lot of the hotel masturbation stuff is like there is a real motive to masturbate immediately when you get to a hotel room.
Yes.
And that, I think, is more unique to
hotel rooms
than anything else. Like, nowhere else do you really like you get somewhere and you're like, I need to jerk off in here.
Yeah,
or
like,
you shouldn't.
Yeah, like I'm at CBS. Fuck.
Yeah, right. Unless you're who's the Red Sox catcher, Reese McGuire,
former.
Yeah,
But yes.
former Red Sox catcher Reese McGuire, who is just like, this parking lot is looking awfully tasty.
Gotta.
This parking lot.
But don't fucking mention it to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Shout out to Shane for saying don't hit that. You don't need to be gay, bi, sexually confused, anything to have conviction in telling somebody to not say hit that. When Pete and I started our first podcast a million years ago, one of the core principles was we will never be accused of being two guys who are talking shop, which is partially why I'm so happy, but also a little like, oh, if only you knew, when we get DMs being like, it's so cool that you guys are talking like this now. And I'm like, oh, I've been called a lot of names over the years for talking like this.
Yeah.
This is
not a pivot.
This is not a new thing. We've, for better or worse, been talking like this. Yes.
If you want 2 months of Mamma Mia 2 content, go ahead and hit the archives, brother.
Yes. So the boys meet at Ilya's and have a combination of sex and hockey talk. And that, until it takes a bit of a turn and emotions run high, I think just like peak dudes rock.
Yeah. It's what I keep trying to convince my wife to get into is hockey talk plus the other stuff. But my big note is Ilya's house has a lot of fucking windows for closeted daytime gay sex.
I did see that. On the right, there was just like a
Yeah.
whole ass oops, all you can see whatever you want.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's important because I've been kind of keeping a mental log of Ilya being so cool about this, borderline blasé about this, not borderline blasé about this, straight up blasé about this, and Shane being so measured and so careful and uptight. It would make sense for what if either of the two are to have an oops all windows home, it would be Ilya.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
Shane's is all windows too. Like his cottage on the lake is like it's all. Granted, they weren't having sex in that
Right.
one, but he's a big window guy too.
Okay.
Apparently, the windows aren't for natural light though.
While we're talking about Ilya's apartment, shout out to Ilyan or Ali on Twitter for putting Ilya on Too Many Lamps watch. Now, as someone who has a lot of low lights,
Yeah.
I've been told that low lights are for girls and the gays.
Not true.
Incorrect.
Not true.
How do you explain? I guess my girlfriend, unfortunately, is a girl. But like, I was gonna say, how do you explain my home?
I'm the better example because I have been hammering.
You're the driving factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was indoctrinated into it. My girlfriend got me into it, and now I'm obsessed.
Definitely. It's the way to go. Do not have big overhead lights, especially bright ones.
But can you throw up the lamp watch again? There are 4 pictures that Ali tweeted, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's a lot of
5.
fucking
In one
lamps.
picture has 5 lamps.
Six.
Six?
You're missing the arrow here that's pointing to another hidden lamp on the other
There's
end table.
so many.
There's 6, and 2 of those lamps are 3-headed lamps.
Yo, my
So
guy.
he's got lots of bulbs.
I call him Ilya. No, I thought I'm dyslexic. I thought I could have made his name into a lamp pun, but Ilya
Lampanov.
There are
Bulbanov. Bulbasaur.
so many lamps, not to be confused with some things that look like bulbs that are on that backside of his. Just a little glazing, just a little objectifying, but we're not going to do it much. As these two boys sit on the couch, you notice the distance. It's so far. It's a big ass couch. It's the one that we had in Detroit. Devotees know we had a big ass couch in Detroit and loved it. They are talking hockey post-coital and just so far apart from each other. And I'm like, you know that Shane wants to get on his phone and text Ilya. We didn't even sit close to each other. And it's such a bummer because they're so far apart. They eventually start to move closer to each other, but the conversation is Ilya just being so cool. Like the way that they're sitting, by the way, Ilya is slouching. He's like this. His shirt is off.
Hand in the pants.
Hand in the pants.
I loved that.
And you know where Shane's hands are?
In his pockets?
You know,
Nope.
up on the couch, right?
Nope.
Or do you just have him like on his lap, on the side?
This. He's like, he has like very nervous energy of like, am I allowed to be here kind of thing.
I feel like
6 feet apart because they're not gay.
yes, that's what I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Ilya or Shane is a very much like whether like gay or straight. I feel like it's very relatable in terms of like I remember going over to like a girl's house for the first time in high school and being like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to behave. I was a very nerdy kid in high school. Like I don't if a girl's paying me any kind of positive attention, I don't know what to do with that. And Shane kind of had that energy where
I
he was
still
like,
do that, and I'm married.
fair enough. But he was just like he was waiting for like the cameras to come out, like this, like he's getting pranked. Like there's no way that Ilya could possibly like him. He had a very like uncomfortable disposition, which I feel like I like for the character.
Which,
See, by the way,
I didn't receive it that way, or I didn't perceive it that way. In that, like, it just felt like kind of normal. It felt like they were just boys, and that to me was like the first time that I'd seen them as boys.
I don't know. Shane.
It seemed like
always kinda seems
Rozanov was
yes,
like, I'm just here with my boy. We fuck sometimes, and Shane was very much the thing that you're talking about, where like you're new to either
like, I
sex
like this
or a
guy.
sexual relationship,
Yeah.
and you don't know. Like looking at that couch, being like, I've never been so confused looking at a couch.
Yeah,
Where
like,
do I sit?
I don't like there's. I want to be next to him, but in order for me to do that, I have to make like a very obvious, like I have to slide over the couch, and that's going to be awkward. And is that going to fuck up the vibe? Like I'm gonna just keep my ass over here and not do anything weird that's going to make him not like me anymore.
Also, the chat has noted this. I was going to bring it up. Rachel Reid mentioned on a podcast recently that it is canon in the Heated Rivalry universe that Shane is neurodivergent, autistic specifically. So
We don't have that in the show, right? They haven't mentioned that.
it has not been mentioned, but Jacob and co were like took that note, applied it, etc. Which like I like as someone who like I'm not autistic, but technically neurodivergent, and like sometimes I just like get up and walk away from things and just kind of like have to stand somewhere else for a little bit to sort of recharge. And there's scenes in this show where Shane, maybe I'm reading into it too much, Shane clearly has some like, even when he went to just try to like sit by himself when he was at the bar, like I'm not unhappy in this situation, but I just like need to be in less of it for a couple of minutes.
The bar
he
situation,
gets a lot of those moments.
The bar situation made me think for like a second that he was having a panic attack, which like
I thought he was going to vomit.
Oh really? I thought that
Yeah,
he was having like a bit of a panic.
He had 2 beers, which he hadn't drank in however long.
Yeah.
I thought he
Also,
was just like going to vomit.
Huge episode for ginger ale. Massive episode for ginger ale and Shane's love for ginger ale. So I'm a big fan of giving a round of applause for ginger ale.
I agree.
It deserves it.
Ginger ale, Mount Rushmore sodas.
Have you had the cranberry ginger ale?
Yeah, I haven't prior.
It is
I know that's your
fucking
thing.
unbelievable.
Ginger ale rocks. Cranberry ginger ale. Cheers, like Cheers, the bar, downtown Boston, whatever it's actually called. They do Shirley Temples, and they'll ask you Sprite or ginger ale.
That's
Shirley Temple with
great
ginger
behavior.
ale, bangs.
Great
but
behavior.
is there, and I'm sure the chat would know if there is there symbolism behind the fact that it is ginger ale in particular? Like I know that ginger ale is kind of like it's like the medicine soda. I don't think it's caffeinated, so I get that. But like, is there? Everything's been so intentional in terms of like the logos, things like that. Like I was just curious if there was a reason it was ginger ale in particular.
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but chat, let us know how ginger ale is either phallic or
right. Like I kind of
because
everything else is intentional.
we know that Jacob been cooking.
I also, while we're asking the chat things, I want to throw this out. Does the chat know why San Francisco has a team and why it's not San Jose? Because every other team.
So
Yeah, they
like,
got a Sunrise, Florida mention in this episode.
Yeah.
And
I heard you guys. I was working on something, so I like kind of sat out the conversation. I would assume that San Francisco is
San
in this
Jose.
instead of San Jose because like if you're gonna go with the team in the Bay, like San Francisco has much more of a queer reputation.
Well, that's
than, like,
kind of what I was
history.
getting at. Like, I was curious if it was just because it is so well known for having such a large gay community. But like,
That's my guess.
that's my guess too. But every other city that they have, Buffalo, Sunrise, like is very specific in like the 1-to-1. So I was curious what that was.
so the scene at Ilya's house, him getting ginger ale because he knows that Shane likes it was a
Yes.
nice
Yep.
touch.
And the tuna melt.
Keeps it cold for him.
So the tuna melt thing was interesting to me because I do have a friend who read the books and was like, wait till you get the Tuna Melt scene. And like out of context, I thought it was going to be a weird sex thing. And I was like, I don't know if I want, like when the Tuna Melt scene was happening, I was like kind of watching through my fingers because I thought that there was going to be a weird fucking Tuna Melt sex scene.
Yeah,
and it turns out that like the Tuna Melt is just the pivot point for seemingly Ilya
like caring
and opening up and bringing some walls down and like showing that he actually cares for Shane, which is not what I thought it was going to be, but a very, very welcome surprise.
Yes.
Well, the biggest moment in that and the biggest like change or olive branch, whatever, olive branch would be the wrong term, but like they start hooking up again on the couch and it is Ilya who first says a real last name. First name.
Yeah.
And like
Shane.
that sends Shane off on, I mean, that might be panic attack possibility number one, but he crashes out and is like, yo, respect to this man, gotta go.
He does say Ilya back though.
Yes, he does, but like he catches himself being like, I don't know, yeah, I've never experienced it in the way that these folks did, but like just in general, you want something so bad, you save up money for something or whatever, you get it, and then you're just like, fuck, did I need to get that or whatever?
I
like
wasn't ready for this.
That was me with the PSP, like when I was like 13 years old. Spent an entire summer mowing lawns to buy a PSP, and I got the PSP, and I was like, I don't even really like this,
Yeah.
and I felt like a real existential dread in that moment.
See, but in this case, it's definitely not an I don't like this. It's a like either I'm not prepared for this because this guy's probably still 20 years old at this point. He is overcome, has to get out of there. We've already documented that he does not drink. And
Which people are pointing out that it's ginger ale. It is like the beer substitute. And the only place he can get it is from Ilya. Every place that he tries to get ginger ale, they tell him they don't have it.
Well, that's not true. At the bar, the bartender did say that he had ginger ale, but I didn't like the behavior on that bartender who was like, we have it, but what are you, a fucking pussy?
Yeah,
And I
terrible.
was like, what the fuck? Like, what if he's sober?
Yeah.
Like,
Also-
he's choosing not to drink, but what if he's an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Bad behavior.
Casting director problematic watch. The allegations stay because when you first saw that bartender, and granted, people in every profession are very attractive, even juice baristas. I was like, this person's way too legit to just be playing the bartender here. Are we getting some sort of thing? Is this guy going to be like an important character in the show? And no, just an extremely hot person who's kind of judging Shane for not drinking alcohol.
I will say,
bad guy, but
if like maybe he's one of those like mixologists. Like he takes the craft really seriously and offended. Like the same kind of guy, although he did give him a beer, I guess.
Yeah.
But the same kind of a guy that would be like, oh, you want a vodka soda? Fucking loser.
Chat notes. Bartender judges Shane for drinking ginger ale. Know who doesn't? Ilya.
Yeah. I mean,
He makes sure he keeps it cold for
he
him.
has it for him. Like,
That's the best part. That's like one of my favorite lines of the episode. He says, "Is the ginger ale cold enough for you?"
Yeah, right.
He wants
cares.
everything to be right for his guy. Now, Shane goes to this party with teammates and meets actor Rose Landry. And there's a great line as he's talking about his upbringing. He says, "It got more intense, hockey, so I guess I got intense too." I was like, outside of us being fanboys of this show, that's a real line. Like, I get that. Shit gets more intense around you. You get intense. Maybe you're not just an intense guy. I think that you are, but, like, you're also kind of a product of your environment. And when you go from being a kid who's good at hockey to you are the next big thing, I could see how that changes you a little bit. Ilya's teammate shows them the page 6 story about Shane and Rose Landry. And this is where we get to peak. Not a great episode for the straights. Ilya's teammate says, quote, "I'd be fucking happy if I was banging Rose fucking Landry. I'm so sorry on behalf of not all straight men, not all men. I am apologetic to aliens who might be listening to this episode on behalf of the human race for that fucking character in that moment. I'd be fucking happy if I was banging Rose fucking Landry. Horrible.
I mean,
It's not that horrible.
dudes talk
Shout
like
out
that.
to Rose. Yeah.
Dudes talk like that. Like,
I get the sentiment.
Not dudes that I
I mean, I don't talk like that.
Yeah.
My friends don't talk like that. But dudes definitely talk like that.
I didn't see a problem with it. Didn't see a problem with anything involving Rose either.
The fucking height of cringe. Very important, speaking of teammates.
I also found it weird that they were watching like Hollywood News in the training room while on the bike at the NHL facility, or the MLH facility. I feel like that's probably not happening in a lot of places.
The chat is saying that the actor who showed Ilya that article
is Harrison Brown.
Harrison Brown.
Yeah.
Trans pro hockey player.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Tierney in the casting. I will say though, I guess to the alternate point of apologizing for straight men, the Rose's gay friend. Sorry, I guess I'm assuming Rose's friend that was giving eyes to Ilya and then kissing on Shane's neck, which was. I don't feel like we got enough of what was going on there.
Yeah.
Being like
that was weird as fuck.
Rose is trying to get into
a
a threesome with which like do you, I guess, but like very crazy to be like to think you're dating a straight man who's a high profile athlete and then be like, we're gonna try and trick this guy into a threesome now.
I mean, I don't know if there was any like I don't know what was happening there. It was a weird situation. There wasn't.
It's a club in Montreal also, so like that's clubbing in Montreal.
I guess it was just maybe I would have liked to see the friend receive a little bit more interest back before being that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Forward.
In fairness, Shane does not appear interested in his own girlfriend.
Well, no, Shane was dancing with his girlfriend, and
he was pogo sticking.
But then the gay friend comes up behind him without any kind of which again, very very male behavior in clubs. So whatever, but like, trickery is not the right word, but like it was that was weird, and that came 30 seconds after he was clearly trying to fuck Ilya too.
Yeah. I feel like we're definitely getting a threesome at some point in this series, whether it's Svetlana in the mix because Svetlana has expressed interest in Shane physically. There's Rose and Rose's friend, who I believe is named Miles. There's definitely a threesome coming. I know it.
There has to be.
I know it.
I mean, if we're getting, well, I guess not competing, but like, they're already for gay men doing the hard part of a threesome with a woman, which is having sex with women. So like, they're halfway there. You might as well.
This ends in a club showdown between Shane and Ilya in an I like other people off.
Yeah.
And I know that there's conversations about is Ilya bi, is Shane gay, is like they are just insisting to each other, it's not just you. It's I don't fucking care about you that much. And this is the first time that Ilya's had to do that as like a defense mechanism because he's always been just kind of doing that anyway, where he's like, oh yeah, I like girls. Yeah, I fucked another guy before. Yeah, who cares? Whatever. And now he's like, look, a girl. I'm into that. I don't even care about you that much. And they're really in this kind of showdown, and it's setting up well. It's setting up well for a final couple of episodes. Need to note the music in this scene. Tattoos, All the Things She Said, a classic, amazing. It then transitions to a cover of All the Things She Said that is now on the iTunes charts. People really received that one well. Different strokes for different folks. I like the original. The original one's an absolute banger.
Yeah, great song.
Great song. Also need to note, Hayden is shown on the ice. Did you notice his number?
No.
Hayden wears 35.
There you go.
Hayden wears number
There's
35.
your guy.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's my guy after this one.
Well, but I mean, I feel like if there's one thing we've learned over watching these episodes is we got to wait until episode 6 before we're judging anybody because
he's also not problematic. He's just fucking horny.
Yeah.
And like to be fair, like he doesn't know obviously that Shane is gay. So maybe the methods that he's using are not the most PC, but like he is just trying to set his friend up with somebody. He wants to see his friend happy ultimately. Like even when they're in the hotel, he's like, why are you being so weird? Just tell me you're going to have sex. Like, I don't care. You're my bro. So that, but there's some, I don't like the way he goes about it. I agree.
I did find it interesting that like Ilya was the one who was like, I need to go out tonight and get laid because I'm pissed that Shane is stepping out, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then he's the one who goes home alone and just JOs in the shower.
I mean,
But yeah,
typically the guy who says, I need to go out and get laid is the person who does not find a sexual partner for that evening.
But my point is that he easily could have gotten laid.
yeah, and I think that's kind of the point of the whole
Right.
episode is that like they have in some ways swapped roles.
Right.
I like the scene of the best scene in the entire episode to me was was Ilya saying Hollander after he had called him Shane, and you could see like the Hollander, like when he was clearly like you could see the kind of the pain and stuff like that. Like that I liked a lot because I think it really represented where they are at now at this point in the relationship. But yeah, I mean, Ilya certainly could have gone home, but I think ultimately what we're learning is that Ilya knows what he feels and who he feels it about, and it's that he has feelings for Shane.
Okay, I have some remaining notes here too. Wild that Shane appears to not be pulling the goaltender if he's doing the unprotected.
I guess we don't know.
We don't know,
Yeah.
but after the pregnancy discussion to open up the episode, to him not be pulling the goaltender with Rose is kind of crazy. I also was very taken.
Maybe he's wearing dick tape. Remember that?
Yes.
People forget. They tried to come up with dick tape as a
insane.
contraceptive.
Do you know dick tape?
No.
It's exactly what it
Never
sounds
tried it
like.
myself.
It's you just put the tape over the pee hole and that prevents
Which always
pregnancy,
confused me
I guess.
because I was like, do they know how pipes work? It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I know
like-
that sounds so
That
uncomfortable.
was, I think, the one thing they didn't consider.
All right.
I really needed them to come up with something better than X Squad.
Oh, for
For-
X-Men?
yeah.
Or like for the superhero thing? Yeah.
That was tough.
Oh, see, that was fine. So, like, I didn't like, if I was fucking banging, like, that one rattled me. I was totally fine with X Squad.
X Squad fucking really threw me off.
Yeah. I
It
was like,
sounded so bootleg. I like that they acknowledged for what I believe the first time that Shane is Asian. I don't
no,
think
they
it was.
did
No,
in the
first
first
episode.
episode.
Did they really?
Because
Okay.
the GM of Montreal was like, and we love the fact that he's Asian.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But
But yes.
I liked it, forgetting that they had already mentioned
And it was like a weird, not weird, but like a very like the fact that he acknowledged the fact that he had a Western name, like shielded him from some of the criticism that his other Asian teammates had when he was growing up, was like a fascinating little tidbit of like the levels of which racism is applied in the like. I don't know. I just found that like
so I guess
very tiny detail.
I guess
fascinating.
I'll pivot to say I'm glad that it's kind of acknowledged by Shane for the first time, and maybe some of the what he's dealt with in terms of that. And then finally, again, I know I mentioned the Tuna Melt scene and expecting it to be something different. It was very, very distracting knowing that they had just eaten tuna melts
someone mentioned this in the
and
chat.
were like heavy breathing on each other, then spitting in their hands for a double-barreled J.O.
What I will say is that
Horrible.
at least they both had tuna melts.
Yeah.
Because if you show up to that interaction and just Ilya's had a tuna melt, then that becomes really problematic.
Yeah, but I don't know if two wrongs makes a right in that situation. But it is.
You're not
I'm
getting
glad
introduced
that
to a new
somebody
taste.
is not being. I'm glad they're at least on equal ground.
Yes.
That's a horrific thing to kind of think about.
Yeah, extremely sad for episodes 5 and 6. This is,
of course,
this show has taken us places we never thought that we would go, and we've now got to the point where the rivalry actually is like hardcore there. The show started off, remember, we were like, doesn't seem like the stakes are what they could be, given that so far it's just a romantic relationship that's a little taboo. Now it's when feelings get involved. Fuck the league and all that stuff. It's when now we've got like potentially a relationship that shouldn't be going on. We've got these two boys who we know have feelings for each other feuding, and in like a I can fuck other people off. Now we're cooking. Plus the lamps.
Chat's mentioning Grills Pickles. Do have to give a shout out to Grills Pickles being represented in this episode.
Boston scene.
Can we reassess? I don't want to like pit the two couples up against each other, but I know that after episode 3, we were very, very excited about Scott Hunter and Kip, and we're waiting to see a little bit more from Ilya and Shane. Like, are they on equal ground in terms of interest now? Because they kind of are for me.
I would need to think of what my answer is to that, but what I'll say is I'm definitely excited to see how Scott Hunter can play into this.
Right. I want to see these kind of intertwined a bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point, Ilya is the most fascinating player in any of the relationships. Like, I'm really fascinated in seeing it, like how he is clearly like breaking down his walls while keeping up this like, I guess, hyper masculine kind of vibe. Like, I don't know. I feel like that because like the other characters make sense. It's very like, I understand what Shane is going through to a certain extent. I understand, but like, I just think that the dynamics at play for Ilya are fascinating. Also, Ilya, I don't know. I get that you want to take your minds off things, but immediately, this is something I just thought about, Ilya going from like, my dad's missing basically to double barrel JOs.
Yeah.
Like, real quick turnaround there.
Blowing off steam, bro.
But I get, you gotta get your mind off things.
That's true. Double barrel JO thing. We have to revisit something. I did see Rachel Reid say that Ilya is lying about his size after he claimed to be 9 inches.
Oh, we knew that.
And with it, we saw.
Yes.
Yeah, Sean, why
the pictures don't lie.
I mean, we got to wrap this in a sec anyway. But
The pictures don't lie. We already saw the pictures. That's not 9 inches. But if you're doing a double barrel JO, it didn't seem like there was much adjustment for size in terms of how that was being worked out. So I don't know. It doesn't look like there might be that big of a discrepancy between the two.
more Heated Rivalry stuff coming. You know that we positively cannot shut the fuck up about it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.